Welcome to Hope Project's video on further submissions and fresh claims, Part 1. The law and information contained in this video is correct as at the 7th of April 2021. As with all asylum and immigration law, this might be subject to changes in the future. I have a fresh claim with the Home Office. This is something many clients tell me. In fact, they don't have a fresh claim. They've only submitted further submissions or information to the Further Submissions Unit. Further submissions and fresh claims are often confused. Some people just say, "I've been to Liverpool," as that is where the Further Submissions Unit is located, and prior to COVID-19 pandemic, an asylum seeker had to go in person to Liverpool to submit the information. You may now request permission to lodge further submissions by post or email. Here you will note the name has changed, but I will call it the Further Submissions Unit in this video. So, what is the difference between further submissions and fresh claims? To answer this, we should discuss who can submit further submissions. In paragraph 353 of the Immigration Rules, it states that anyone who has a human rights or protection claim has been refused, or the case has been withdrawn or treated as withdrawn, and has no pending appeal, can submit information to the Further Submissions Unit. For example, a person claimed asylum. The Home Office refused them, and the court dismissed their appeal. They become Appeals Right Exhausted, ARE. But the person has new or more information they want to give to the Home Office. They can give that information to the Further Submissions Unit. All they are doing at this stage is giving information and documents. There is no fresh claim. Further submissions are not limited to the original asylum case. For example, evidence of family and private life matters can be submitted, information about the birth of a child or a relationship, or if someone has lived in the UK for a long time, such as 20 years. I should mention, however, these types of cases are usually submitted using a form and paying Home Office fees or requesting a fee waiver. But if you are ARE, you can submit this information to the Further Submissions Unit with no form or fee. The Further Submissions Unit also deals with those who have withdrawn their asylum case or the case is treated as withdrawn. This means you don't want to carry on with the case, or the Home Office has taken the decision the case has been withdrawn. There are two ways to withdraw a case. Explicit withdrawal. This is when you tell the Home Office you don't want to carry on. Implicit withdrawal. This is when the Home Office infer, that means they come to a decision or come to the conclusion you don't want to carry on. A case is implicitly withdrawn when a person fails to complete an asylum questionnaire when requested to do so, fails to attend their substantive asylum interview, that's the big interview, and is unable to prove within a reasonable time that it was because of something they could not control. For example, they had an operation or an accident on that day. Or the person leaves the UK before a decision is made. If you submit further submissions and are asked to have an interview, implicit withdrawal cannot be applied to that interview. That is because an asylum claim cannot be treated as withdrawn once a decision has been made, and in all cases where further submissions are lodged, the initial claim will already have been decided. Implicit withdrawal applies to asylum claims made on or after 7th of April 2008. For claims made before 7th of April 2008, they were refused on the grounds of non-compliance, which means failure to act with a wish or command. For example, if an asylum seeker left the UK and came back 2 years later, the asylum claim has either concluded because a decision was made, or it has been implicitly withdrawn if no decision was made. Upon returning, the asylum seeker does not claim asylum again. They give information to the Further Submissions Unit. As with all further submissions, there should be no appeal outstanding or pending. To clarify the meaning of further submissions, further means additional to what already exists or has already taken place, been done or been accounted for. Submissions in law is the action of presenting, that means giving, documents for consideration, that means to be looked at. So when someone goes to the Further Submissions Unit, they are giving documents to be looked at and decided as to whether they should get status. But if rejected, the Home Office will decide if they make a fresh claim. You may use the Home Office's pro forma form, but you do not have to use this form. It is a guide to what a fresh claim might look like. But now I have a question. If further submissions are not a fresh claim, what is a fresh claim and how do I make one? We will discuss that in our Fresh Claims video Part 2. Takeda Singyen, also known as the Tiger of Kai, once said, "Knowledge is not power, it is only potential. Applying that knowledge is power. Understanding why and when to apply that knowledge is wisdom." I'd like to thank you for watching this video, and if interested in future videos, please visit our website.